How's it going, you guys? AZPlyo21 back again with another episode of our UFC save in WMMA 5, and here today we have UFC Fight Night Shogun versus OEZDEMIR. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what we are just finishing up here. We just finished UFC 291 Jones versus Velasquez. John Jones, still your heavyweight champion. Vicente Luque, still your welterweight champion. And Max Holloway, still your featherweight champion after unifying the titles against Zabit Magomedsharipov. Stamp Fairtex is currently the #1 contender in the strawweight division, and Nate Diaz getting a big win over Michael Venom Page. But here today we have Shogun versus OEZDEMIR. You can take a look at the fights here alongside the prelims. We are making our way towards UFC 292. Fajeda versus Ferguson. 3 title fights on that pay-per-view card, including the strawweight, bantamweight, and lightweight championships of the world. That should be a good pay-per-view, but let's get right into the action. Appreciate you guys as always. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. All the links are down in the description below. Let's get right into the first prelim with Ryan Hall taking on The Truth, TJ Laramie, in the featherweight division, and it's TJ Laramie knocking out Ryan Hall to get his 17th win of the season of his career. He's now 4-1 in the UFC and gets a big win over Ryan Hall here today. Marlon Vera, Chito Vera taking on Reginaldo Vieira. Marlon Vera not having as good of a career in game than he is in real life. And we'll have to see. Just, I mean, look at that record, 17-11-1. That is not good at all. And he gets knocked out by Reginaldo Vieira. So we might be saying goodbye to Marlon Vera. I mean, take a look here. That's 7 straight losses. Yeah. We're probably going to send him to WEC after this. And Vieira wants to fight Umar Nurmagomedov. James Gallagher taking on Geraldo de Freitas. Gallagher, kind of a spunky kid, kind of a Conor McGregor wannabe, you know, but it is what it is. He's 15-3, and he gets a unanimous decision win over Geraldo de Freitas. He's now 1-1 in his UFC career. Congratulations to Gallagher. And moving on, we have Louis Smolka taking on Luca Iovine in the bantamweight division, and it is Iovine getting the unanimous decision victory in what was unfortunately a poor fight. Moving right along, we have Brandon Royval taking on Ronaldo Candido in the flyweight division. Candido, an odds-on underdog, but he gets the win over Raw Dog here today, improving his record to 10-3. Tenshin Nasukawa, Ryzen superstar, taking on Shahidul Hake. Nasukawa 6-1 in our flyweight division. Hake is 15-6, and Nasukawa gets a split decision over the so-called Superman after getting a loss to Damasio Page his last time out. Only 24 years old, still has a lot of time to grow, does Nasukawa. Tiffany No Chill Tio taking on Poliana Botello, and Botello gets a TKO victory in just 30 seconds over Tiffany Tio, despite being quite a big underdog and basically saving herself here in the UFC. Svetlana Gotic taking on Seo Hee Ham in our strawweight division, and it's Svetlana Gotic getting the win via TKO in round number 3. She's now 5-1 in her career, all against unranked opponents, but she needs a little bit more of a test her next time out. Ewelina Wozniak taking on Jessica Delboni. Wozniak 9-3, Delboni 12-4, and it's Delboni in a fantastic fight, getting a unanimous decision victory over Wozniak here today. Luis Gustavo taking on Lukasz Czarzuski in our final prelim. Gustavo, a small favorite, and with good reason. He gets the win over Czarzuski here today in the lightweight division. He is now 2-1 in his short UFC career thus far. First main card fight, and it is Japanese sensation Reina Kubota taking on Isabella de Padua. And it's Kubota, 16-6. She's the underdog to De Padua, who is 12-3, and De Padua gets the submission victory here today. She's now 2-2 in her UFC career. Remember, she was coming off that loss to Jessica Andrade, but she gets a big win here today against Kubota. Calling out Courtney Casey in the process as well. Ben 10 win, taking on the Turkish delight Alptekin Ashkalik in our flyweight division. win, a big favorite in this one, and with good reason, a unanimous decision victory for the 32-year-old here today, who says he would like to fight Joseph Morales. Moving on, Eglantina Bougie taking on Pani Kianzad in the bantamweight division. Bougie is coming off a win over Ronda Rousey and Gina Mazzani. And, I mean, she's on quite a win streak. She's 8-0 in her career, 28 years old, mid-level national. I mean, it's kind of starting to be her time to shine, even though she's not had that much experience. Pani Kianzad has had a little bit more experience. She's on a 3-fight winning streak, and she is the underdog to Bougie here in this fight. But Bougie gets knocked out, gets her first loss of her career, gets knocked out by Pani Kianzad, who should be moving up in the rankings, now on a 4-fight winning streak, and calling out Marina Maknatkina. GDR, the Iron Lady, Germaine Durandamy, taking on Sinead Kavanagh in the featherweight division. GDR has had quite a tough time in her career thus far, at least in save. She's coming off a no contest to Sarah Kaufman, lost to her, but Kaufman ended up testing positive for drugs, was kind of close to setting herself up for another featherweight championship opportunity, and she faces off with Sinead Kavanagh. Now, Kavanagh's only 11-6, but her last win over Bunmi Ojewole, lost to Cyborg, beat Sanaya Yarbrough. I mean, she's coming off a win, so we'll see what she can do, and she's the favorite as well. And Sinead Kavanagh TKOs Germaine Durandamy. I don't know what it is about her right now, but she's clearly on some type of hot streak. Sinead Kavanagh having a good time here in the UFC. Ricardo Ramos taking on Chase the Teenage Dream Hooper in our co-main event in the featherweight division. Ricardo Ramos is a big favorite against Chase Hooper here in this one. Ricardo Ramos, number 8 in the featherweight division, as wins against Yusuf Burgos Barbosa and Patricio Pitbull. On the other side, you have Chase Hooper, 8-0 in the UFC, undefeated here in the big stage, coming off wins over Cub Swanson, Michael Trezano, Frankie Edgar, Dan Ige. I mean, we can take a look there. He's had quite a record coming into today. Only 23 years old still. In real life, the kid has a lot of seasoning to do, but here he is practically unstoppable. A big underdog to Ricardo Ramos. But in our co-main event, Chase the Teenage Dream Hooper beats Ricardo Ramos in round number 2, possibly getting himself into the top 10. The top 10, possibly, for the 23-year-old. Interesting. We arrived at our main event of the evening. Ageless Mauricio Shogun Rua taking on VOLKAN OEZDEMIR in our main events. OEZDEMIR, former light heavyweight championship challenger, on a small 2-fight winning streak. Sam Alvey and Thomas Narcoon. On the other side, you have Shogun Rua, off that loss of John Jones for the title in January of 22. Has straight wins over Vadim Nemkov and Anthony Smith. It's our main event of the evening. Let's get it going. Light heavyweights going at it. Herb Dean is your referee. Opening bell is underway and they touch gloves. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens here as far as, you know, grappling, because Shogun would definitely have the advantage there. And, I mean, OEZDEMIR, 2-fight winning streak in his own right. This is a really good fight, and you can see the betting lines very even between these two fighters. Shogun with a small counter jab. It might go the distance, and in that case, it might actually favor OEZDEMIR just because he's the younger fighter. Might have a little bit more in his tank. Hit Shogun with a beauty of a straight right. Coming together to strike. I mean, I don't want to... Oh, Shogun with a wicked right uppercut. OEZDEMIR's knocked down. Shogun pounding away, getting destroyed, and Herb Dean has stopped the fight. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner in just 3 minutes of round number 1 is Mauricio Shogun Rua in our main event here today. Small crowd in Nebraska on hand to watch that unfold. I know there was a fantastic fight on the prelims, so that is going to get fight of the night. And then performance bonuses. First round knockout, Botello, congratulations, Vieira. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. Excellent job, you guys. Highest paid fighters on the night. Shogun Rua by a long shot. Ryan Hall, GDR, and Tenshin Nasukawa. As always, we're going to update our rankings, and then we are going to show you what is next. Appreciate you guys. As always, be sure to like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already done so. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Links are down in the description below. Appreciate you guys as always. And yeah, let's go ahead and update these rankings in a second. That is the one thing about this game. As time, starts to go on in game, it'll start to slow down a little bit, unfortunately, just because there's a lot more stuff that the game has to think about and whatnot. A lot more things to process. All right, that's weird, but we are here. And so let's go ahead and update our rankings now. And in the heavyweight division, there is no movement. Light heavyweight, Kazushi Zukawaki in there at number 16 after we signed him from PFL. And there you can see he's been the champion for quite some time. And yeah, doing some good work. And we're happy to introduce him here to the UFC. OEZDEMIR moving down to number 10. And I mean, Shogun, who, if he gets one more win, it'd be pretty hard not to, grant him another title opportunity. At middleweight, got some guys moving up, and we had Robert Whitaker last week actually pop for performance-enhancing drugs, so that's pretty bad on him. So everyone moves up, and Anatoly Tokov back into the rankings. At welterweight, there is no movement. At lightweight, no movement. Featherweight, Chase Hooper up to number 6. Number 6 for Chase Hooper, the 23-year-old kid. Ricardo Ramos all the way down to number 15. Yikes. It's quite a drop for him. At bantamweight, there's no movement. At flyweight, Ben Wynn up to 15. Osh Kalik down to 19. Women's featherweight, Sinead Kavanaugh is now the number 1 contender, apparently. Wow, okay. I'm feeling a fight. I don't know if Miura is already scheduled for something, but I'm feeling like a fight between Miura and Kavanaugh would be the number 1 contender fight. I'm feeling like that's a good option, but I think Miura might already have a fight tentatively scheduled. Not 100% sure. At bantamweight, Kian Zad, like I mentioned, up into the top 10. At number 9, Bougie all the way down to 17. I don't quite agree with that, considering she's already beaten Ronda Rousey, who sits at number 11. Nonetheless, at flyweight, there is no movement. And I think, yeah, I downloaded the most recent picture pack. So some of these pictures are going to be a little bit more recent. Like, this is a new picture of Valerie Lareda. So, pretty cool. I think Chukagian, that's a different picture. Yep, she has the Venom stuff on and whatnot. Andrea Lee, that's a different picture for sure. She's got the Venom stuff on. I saw her win her fight live. And then at strawweight, De Padua moves up in front of Kubota, basically, at number 15. All right, the next time I see you guys will be for UFC Fight Night, Jakashi versus McKee. That should be a good one, followed by Alvarez McDonald, Gillespie Hughes, and as always, we are working our way towards UFC 292, Fajeda versus Ferguson. I'm AZPlow21. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you at the fights.